This is the best laptop I've ever owned by far, but good luck getting it. What's up guys, it's been a while. Today I wanted to give my official review on the ROG Zephyrus Duo 16. Before I start the review, I'd like to talk for a moment about the elephant in the room, actually obtaining this laptop. This laptop is so different from other laptops I've ever had or seen. It has 2 screens, an AMD processor with an NVIDIA GPU, a mini LED display, just to name a few, which makes this laptop very desirable. In this post-COVID age, getting silicone products out is very difficult for these tech companies, and that's understandable. What isn't understandable is the buying process. Even if you manage to obtain this laptop before scalpers, ASUS will send the transaction to Clearsale, a third-party company, to verify it. They do this to prevent fraud. Okay, that sounds normal. It's not. This process can take 24 to 48 hours after the initial purchase. And from what I've seen, the majority of buyers have seen their swift purchase immediately canceled once Clearsale has finished analyzing the transaction. The way this company verifies the purchase is they call the number that you put on the transaction contact details and manually verify that you purchased it. If you don't pick up the phone, 60 seconds later, your purchase is canceled and you'll have to wait again for this item to come back in stock, which is usually never. Luckily for me, I over-researched everything, and I knew what I was getting myself into. I waited 36 hours. I receive a call from an unknown number. I pick up. It's my mother, wishing me happy birthday. I tell her to fuck off and I hang up. I wait again. 30 minutes. I get a call from a Miami number. I swiftly answer the phone. It's Clearsale. Is this Mr. Meister? I said, you're goddamn right it is. Did you really buy a laptop for $4,200? I said, you're goddamn right I did. Do you live at this location? I said, until I'm evicted. Your transaction is now verified. And you're lucky you answered the phone. Bitch. And then they hung up. A little over exaggerated, but you get the point. Now what should be addressed is not only the availability of the laptop, but variety of the laptop. When this was announced, I had my eye on a $2,500 version. They had about 20 different variants of this laptop with different displays, specs, etc. Now there are only about 2 or 3 options listed on the ASUS website, and they hand off the remaining lesser spec versions to local shops. Nobody is going to get the laptop they want. Either you can afford the higher price versions, or no Zephyrus Duo 16 for you. Anyways, let's get into the laptop. To provide some background info, I've owned an Alienware, 4 different Razer blades, and a lot of MacBooks. The reason why I switched over from only buying Razer gaming laptops to now owning this can be further explained in my upcoming The Reliability of Razer video. But in short, Razer's reliability has sucked, and if I was going to switch to something else, it had to be really fucking cool. And what's cooler than 2 displays in a laptop? Now, the Zephyrus Duo 16. This laptop is a sleek build. It feels premium, and I know premium. It's not crazy thin, but it feels lightweight and it's something I would be comfortable walking around with. The size isn't too bad. It is a big laptop, but I feel like my old Alienware was a lot more of a nuisance when I carried it with me. On the back of this laptop, it features a 2-texture finish with the reflective ROG logo, so you can let everyone around you know you're a gamer. On the bottom, nothing special, just some vents, solid rubber footing, and a pop-open screw for the internals. We'll get into the inside of this laptop later in the video. On the left side, there's a power port, a USB 3.2 Type A, and an all-in-one USB 3.2 Type C port, a micro SD card reader, and a headphone jack. On the back is an RJ45 Ethernet, an HDMI 2.1, and another USB-A port. On the right is another USB Type-C with just DisplayPort capabilities. If I were to make any changes, I would love to see a full SD card reader and a Thunderbolt port. USB-C does not equal Thunderbolt. You don't know how many people I've had to explain that to when I tried selling my Razer Core. Moving to the main display, specifically, this model has a 16-inch Quad HD Plus 16x10 ROG Nebula HDR display. It features a refresh rate of 165 Hz, 3 millisecond response time, and my favorite, mini LED. I cannot praise this enough. Every laptop needs to have a display with high nit peak brightness. Ever since I hooked up a Razer core to my MacBook, which featured about 500 nits at the time, I needed a brighter screen on a gaming laptop. It's also good to see Asus taking a leap of faith from the norms and going with a 16:10 aspect ratio over 16:9. Using this display in the real world, it's amazing. It does require some troubleshooting and getting it to the most optimal state, but I cannot praise this display enough. I love gaming on it, I love editing on it. This video is made on this laptop and the colors just pop. Other variants of this laptop feature a dual spec panel, meaning you can switch between 4K and 120Hz or 1080p and 240Hz on the fly. That sounds great, but I don't think anyone has one. I have yet to see it show up in stock anywhere, but if you have one, I would love to know what you think about it. Now, the key feature. The Zephyrus Duo 16 also has a 14-inch 4K IPS touchscreen on the bottom. This is not a gimmicky display. It has a lot more to offer than Apple's Touch Bar. It's very practical. I personally use it to have my Discord chat, my music queue, or my timeline when I'm video editing. The display also elevates and angles towards you. Because of this, it hides the bottom lip of the main display for a cleaner look and allows airflow around the hinges. It's an awesome design. I love to see innovation in gaming laptops. Sitting just under the second display is of course the keyboard. Nothing too special, just a backlit, chiclet style, per key RGB keyboard. I'm glad per key RGB is now the standard. That was a great thing to have when only Razer was doing per key RGB. The laptop also comes with a palm rest, since the keyboard is lower than typically most laptops. Some changes that I would make would be the customization. Razer is great with customizing and adding macros to every key, but for Asus, I've yet to discover how to make that happen on the Zephyrus. And moving right by the keyboard is the touchpad with a switchable number pad, making it perfect for running my script, making it perfect for running my mods. This laptop also features a 720p webcam with IR for Windows Hello. This is the first time I ever got Windows Hello to work consistently on a computer. I don't know what Asus did, but it works great. And the speakers. They're not great. It's decent. I've never been near a Windows laptop with notably good speakers, but take my opinion with a grain of salt because I'm not an audio pedophile. Now the inside. This version of the Zephyrus Duo has 2 TB of NVMe SSD storage. Perfect. This should be the standard for gaming laptops. And if 2 TB isn't enough for you, it's fully upgradable. Just unscrew it and swap them out. This version also has 32 GB of GDDR5 dual channel memory. Again, it should be the standard and it's fully upgradable as well. And now the juicy stuff. This laptop features an AMD processor with an NVIDIA GPU, specifically a Ryzen 9 6900HX Mobile. Originally, the laptop was advertised with a 6980, but nothing is definitive over at Asus. For graphics, this model has an RTX 3080 Ti with 16 GB of GDDR6 VRAM featuring ROG Boost. Now another thing that's cool about this laptop is it has Wi-Fi 6 capabilities. This is the first device that I've ever had that is able to utilize that, and it works great. I've almost doubled my wireless speeds. The Zephyrus Duo 16 also has a 90 watt-hour battery. However, it is still a gaming laptop, so the battery life is going to suck. In real world use, I was able to get about an hour gaming, an hour editing, and about 2.5 hours web browsing separately. And obviously, I'm not trying to show this laptop in a good light. I'm not being paid by Asus. I take pride in giving an honest review, so everything that I tested was at full brightness, full quality, full performance. A good thing that I can say about Asus is their decision to use AMD and adding a mux switch. AMD is more power efficient, so you won't notice as bad of throttling and will have better battery life versus having an Intel chip. And the introduction of a mux switch is awesome for keeping this laptop alive for when you don't want to use your powerhouse of a GPU on battery. So, how does this laptop perform when gaming? As you'd expect, it has high benchmark scores. 3080 Ti will be good for the next few years. One thing about the Zephyrus that I just can't get over is the lack of customization in Asus's Armory Crate app. I would love some more profile options, maybe some more options that can be customized on the lower screen. I just see so much more opportunity and potential with customization that isn't being taken advantage of the same way Razer does. My experience so far with this laptop has been great. From everyday use, the fans aren't insanely loud, it doesn't get too hot, the battery life is what I expected, the innovation is what sold me on it, there's nothing like it, and I found the Zephyrus to be the best laptop I've ever had. Now, what I do want to mention is who this laptop is for. Those who prefer the luxury of portable gaming, love innovation in laptops, and can afford it. If you don't meet all three, I suggest looking elsewhere. I would also suggest not buying from the Asus website if you do plan to. Well, thanks for watching. Be sure to comment your opinions or any questions you might have. And if you want, you can request a game for me to benchmark. I will gladly do that for you. Now to give my rating. It's a great laptop. Everything I expected. The buying process was difficult, but customer support thanked me for being a part of the Asus family. So I give this a 10 out of 10.